Ipswich are 14th in the away table. That's not promotion form, and why the top two feels distant right now. After conceding 5, this isn't about hype, it's about response. I'm not confident tonight, I'm expectant. Watford away, prove me wrong. Let's get into it. Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and I'm here with George. And George, we sit 14th in the away table. Is that tactical or psychological?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both, probably. At this point, Wrexham was a funny old game, wasn't it? I think I was a lot angrier on Saturday afternoon than I am at the moment. I've probably come down from that slightly, but that was an odd response to being beaten by them in the FA Cup, I thought, particularly by a team who were the same 11 as the last time we went out and got a good result against Derby. And it was largely disappointing more than it wasn't. And in terms of coming back to your question, I think there's an element of us not being able to find the momentum that we've had previously in terms of, and I think that comes down to being a psychological issue as much as anything else. But what the answer is, which may very well be what you ask me next, I have no idea. But I wasn't a big fan of how we played when we got to 3-2 up either. So I think there was probably a tactical issue on top of it.
But exactly, yeah, tactical. 14th in the league table, away league table. That says its own story. That has to be a little bit of element of tactics in there. It really does. And you say you weren't happy at 3-2 up. Many weren't. What would you have liked to have changed? What was one thing you hope structurally, tactically, they change this Tuesday evening away at Watford? Then what would you have liked to have seen in that moment?
I think that's part of it. Did come down to a mentality thing. I thought like it just looked like we didn't grab hold of coming from. We've come from behind twice. And then we get ourselves in front. We get ourselves in front at arguably the best possible time as well. And we just didn't make the most of it. And it felt a little bit like we weren't sure whether we were going to ride it out or whether we wanted to try and get forward, because we had a couple of sort of half chances after that. But there was just it just didn't really feel like we knew what the plan was, what the game plan was, which then comes back to a tactical thing. And, I'm looking obviously as a complete layman from a tactics perspective, but it just didn't feel comfortable. We didn't feel comfortable even at 3-2 up, but equally we also didn't feel like we had that kind of sod it, let's just go for it. Like, we were going to lose this game 5 minutes ago. Let's get after them. Do you know what I mean? It just felt like we were lacking that impetus to either see it out 3-2 and see if we can hit them on the break, or let's just get after them. Because to a point, I thought they looked like we could get after them. Like they kept hitting us.
Yeah, I agree.
They kept hitting us, and we looked terrified of them. And I'm sure you got to this yesterday, but we backed off some more against players that we should know better than as well. We backed off of Kiefer Moore. We backed off of Nathan Broadhead. Broadhead came on. We're lucky he only came on in the 70th minute or whatever it was, because we looked like we'd never seen him before.
We certainly acted like we hadn't had the game.
Like bloody Messi. It was bonkers.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. And obviously, we've spoken about so often home and away. I've often said it's difficult going away from home. You said it shouldn't be. It should be the same as playing at home. It's it's two teams of football and all of that. But the league table for the away form, we're second in the home form, 14th. For me, it has to start with: are you tactically the right way you should be away from home? Are you sound? Is your shape sound? Are you too aggressive? And all of those different things. We're going to get through all of that as we build up through the course of the evening. But are you expecting a more controlled Ipswich tomorrow before we do turn the page and move that show forward? Are you expecting do you want to see a more controlled Ipswich tomorrow?
Controlled. I'd like to see a more competent Ipswich tomorrow. Is that answer? We've got to be defensively more competent. We like both from a defensive perspective and building from defense perspective. Like we looked incompetent at the back on Saturday, and I know we're not, and I know we've got a really good defensive record this season, but we don't have a great track record of giving the ball away and in dangerous positions and giving goals away because of that this season, and that's something that we have to sort out. Like I am all for, to be really clear, I am all for playing out for the back. I think that is the way to go. I thought the way we did it up until the Premier League season was exactly how McKenna wanted it to be done. We looked like we shocked teams with the way that we played. That's obviously not going to be the case anymore because they all do it, but we haven't found the answer to evolve our game, or we've gone backwards. It's one of those two things, and I don't know which it is, but we've either gone backwards in the way that we play out from the back. It looks ponderous. It doesn't look particularly purposeful. It looks like we are playing slowly out from the back, but with no intention. Like that, to me, that's what it looks like. We can play around with it all we want at the back, but we play until that point where the momentum again shifts. We have the ball. We have all the time in the world. We play it around, wait for them to come onto us, which I totally get, and that's when we go. But we wait too long, and we give the ball away, or we kick the ball straight out of play, or there's just something missing, and that's what I want to see. It's part of that is control, part of that is competence, part of that is a mentality thing, part of that is a tactical thing. I suspect, like, we're just not good at it at the moment, unfortunately.
No, you're absolutely right. Those things absolutely have to change. Don't forget, we are partnered with Match Bingo. Remember the word town all in caps, TOWN, town all in caps for a 100% deposit bonus. When you deposit the minimum of £10, you get a 100% deposit bonus. Over 18s only. Terms and conditions apply. Please gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information. How to play? Scan the QR code next to their logo on the screen, or click the link in the description. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes. Now, right, what are we walking into tomorrow night at Watford? New manager, Will Steele's brother. I didn't know Will Steele had a brother managing, but he does, and he manages Watford. He is the latest person to step forward and take the managerial reins at Watford. Home crowd, environment that's going to be tricky to play against. There are only a few points outside the playoffs themselves. Is this, George, actually a potentially dangerous fixture to be walking into off the back of a 5-3 defeat?
Yeah, I think Watford away is always a tricky fixture. I think Watford anywhere are a tricky fixture. So yeah, absolutely. I think tomorrow is I think I said last time I was on that I thought this month, or particularly this series of away games could be season defining for us. And I think we're still kind of sat on the precipice of how that's going to go, unfortunately. But I think tomorrow's a massive game. Not that everything's all over if we don't win tomorrow or if we lose tomorrow, but I think if we win tomorrow, then the Wrexham game can just be seen as an anomaly, and we move on. That's just stepping back to Wrexham for a second. Let's not kid ourselves. They're sixth. Like, it's not like they're not scoring. It's not like we lost 5-3 to a team that are fighting relegation. Wrexham have obviously still have that momentum, and that's really tricky to play against. But I still think if we have serious aspirations for top two, tomorrow is one of those games where we have to show it.
Completely, yeah, and that's why I said at the start of the show I'm expecting. I want a reaction from the lads tomorrow night. And you're right, Wrexham having a great season, but this is the Championship. There are trips all over the show. This is the league where you can be coasting the Coventry and then tripping the next, because every team can beat any team. But it's about the consistency and rising. And when you go 3-2 up against Wrexham, but focusing on Watford, does that make the first 20 minutes of this game really critical from Ipswich? And what would suit them more in the first 20 minutes, do you feel? A fast start, making it frantic, making it chaotic, or perhaps a more controlled, foot on the ball, slow it down, try and frustrate? What's that first 20 minutes? Is it a critical opening 20 minutes, do you feel, tomorrow?
I don't think we frustrate teams when we put our foot on the ball. I think that's
we don't. That's got to change.
But that comes back to what I said. Like, I would, if I thought that we could play around with it at the back for 20 minutes and frustrate Watford and invite them onto us and all of the rest of it, and not give the ball away or not kick the ball straight out of play and not potentially give a goal away because of it, then maybe. But the simple fact of the matter, from where I sit, is that we look better when we get after teams. We look better when we play with momentum going forwards. You know, we have to try and, for me, get at them, and try and get ahead, because we might get through 20 minutes and it might be 0-0, but it's just as likely that we make a mistake and give the ball away and then don't know what to do with ourselves, and then we're on the back foot. And I think the main thing for us at the moment is that we have to not get ourselves on the back foot at any point tomorrow, because it feels a little bit like the away fan base are on a knife edge in terms of that kind of relationship that they have with the fan, the team, and the championship year and last year as well is fading slightly when it goes against us, and we've got to try and avoid that.
And that is my biggest criticism at the moment of Kieran McKenna, is that you can take all the millions that you spent, and that is its own story. You spent all that money. Have you improved? Where haven't you improved? How bad is the recruitment? And we will shine a light on those throughout the course of the season, but more so in the summer, because we are where we are, right? We've all got to come together and sort of face it right now head on. But adaptability away from home, George, from Kieran McKenna, that's my biggest area of weakness for him, in the sense of last year in the Premier League, we weren't good away from home. The year we were promoted, we weren't bad away from home, but we still had games where we let in 3, 4, 5s, etc. But you got through it, you got promoted. Excellent. But we're still here 3 years on, but more so 2 years on, really open away from home. 3-2 up, you've got yourself back in the game. So again, tomorrow, it worries me. If Town go a goal behind, the stats tell the story. If Town go a goal behind, switch the TV off, leave the stand, because Town ain't getting back in the game, George. So what if, which shouldn't be the case, but it is. So if Watford do score first tomorrow, how worried will you be?
Pretty worried. A friend of mine sent me a stat on Saturday saying how long it is since we've come back. Since we
is it still Jeremy Sarmiento's goal?
Went behind and then won a game. So yeah, I'll be right. I thought we were finally going to get that monkey off our back on Saturday at 3-2, but it didn't come to pass. So yeah, I would be concerned for all of those reasons. I think we're in that place right now where it doesn't help. And silly as that sounds, because we're always going to go behind in games, and we're always going to have off games and all the rest of it. But we've got to find a way to be have that kind of capacity to be the better team away from home. Like, we've got the squad for it. I don't think anybody is going
to have
we do. We absolutely do. And we have the coach for it, to be clear. Like, this is not
so tactically, are they being put in the best position away from home? If you say you got the squad for it.
I really like us going forward. I like us going forward, but I don't think we look loads better at the back when we play at home. I'm not sure it's a home and away thing. I'm really not. Like, we overplay it at the back when we're at home. We don't look confident playing out from the back very often, as often as we used to when we're at home. I don't think it's a home and away thing. And as I've said to you, like, I acknowledge that playing away from home is trickier because you have the away fans, the home fans, the home team against you, and that's a mentality thing, and that's something that you can't deal with from football particularly. But I think that's the kind of thing that a team should be able to deal with. I don't necessarily think that you should play differently because you're away from home. You play the team, not the location.
Yeah. But then that also feeds into sort of, if Town go a goal up, I don't think we've got it in us. And I think you've said as much earlier on in the show, to put the foot on the ball, bring calm to the game, bring control to the game. We saw it on Saturday. We don't. And so in a way, going a goal up doesn't always necessarily help us either, because we don't bring that calmness. We don't bring that, I don't want to say low block, George, but I've never seen us once try and low block a team when leading by a goal. And that isn't in the McKenna DNA, but is it time we have to have that adaptability? We have to be. We're now approaching the business end of the season, George. Promotion is won and lost with that top 2 or top 6. You've got to start being more pragmatic, have you not?
I'm not sure it comes down to pragmatism. I don't want to watch us play a low block. You know,
I'm not saying low block, so
we've
bring
seen
control to the game.
We've seen teams come to Portman Road, teams that play away that just come and play that horrible football, and they might get a result out of it, they might get a point out of it, but yeah, I've come away saying, God, I don't want to pay to watch that every week, and I don't. And I think we look better when we are on the front foot in football games, and when we are trying to play forward in football games. And that's not to say we shouldn't be doing that from the back.
Yeah, true.
But we just overplay it, or I don't know what it is, but there is something about the way we play out from the back this season that is either that's just not working, and I don't know why that's not working. But I don't think that, because we can play more pragmatic, and because it is quite pragmatic the way that when we play like that, the sort of back and forward and side to side and all the rest, and that's great. But it's finding the moment, whether the run isn't happening, whether the player's not coming to the ball, or whether the person on the ball isn't spotting it, whatever it is, it's not happening. And for me, that's the issue, rather than a sort of tactical one or a formation problem or a squad one even. There's just something that's not clicking for us. And if that needs to change, then fine. But I don't think that necessarily needs a full-on 10 men behind the ball. I know that's what you're not suggesting, but you know,
we could do it anyway. We haven't got the defenders for it. We haven't got the defenders for it.
I don't think we need to go overly defensive when we get ahead. I'd much rather see us get after teams when they look like they have a soft underbelly. And
very much so.
And Wrexham looked like they had a bit of a soft underbelly. They looked good coming forward. You know, I thought they had a really good game, and it wasn't like it wasn't a complete fluke. They were obviously a good strong squad, but they looked like they were, you know, we looked as likely to score 5 at various points. We've just got to figure out how not to concede 5.
Ipswich Town, oh boy, we could have pressed and attacked or gone low block, but we did neither. 10 euro super sticker from David. David, thank you ever so much. We're going to talk about how I want a response from this game, particularly as it means so much more to me as my father-in-law is a Watford fan. In just a moment, we'll get some comments first. Jack Jones, the 2 games in hand are crucial and must win. Both of them, as Borough and Coventry are flying. Colin says Oxford, etc. shouldn't be tricky, although Oxford were tricky at the weekend for another promotion side. So, you know, again, I think every side is capable in this division, but it's how you navigate those potential slip-ups. Craig, Wrexham at our place was boring. Just came for a point. That's not McKenna's way. Kevin says our play is too slow. Boy about Town. Sorry, quite close to winning away at Everton. Yeah, but quite close. Don't cut it. Didn't win it, did we? Didn't win it. My Asmark. But that's down to coaching and management. Surely, again, I think that's his biggest, for me, the area that if I was coaching McKenna, if I was his boss, George, it'd be the one area we have to really improve and change from a weakness or a blind spot into a strength. Your adaptability away from home. You can't just continue to keep pressing the button of same old, and hope to get a different result. And tomorrow feels to me, as I said, a response game. I want to see a response. All right, but what does a response look like? Is it winning? Is it control? Is it a clean sheet? Is it midfield dominance? What would a response look like for you, George?
Well, a response is winning 4-0, and looking like we're a relegated team that strengthened our squad in the last 6 months. Like that's a response. Do I think that's what is going to happen? Not really.
No, you don't.
Do I think it could? Absolutely, because I think that's the frustrating thing for me this season is I can't figure it out. There's just something that is making it harder to watch Ipswich this season than it has been for the last 4 seasons, and that's not because we're doing terribly because we're 4th in the league. It's not because we've got terrible defensive record, because we haven't. It's not that we aren't scoring goals, because we are scoring goals. just something about it that's hard to connect with, and I can't put my finger on what that is as a fan.
So would a draw tomorrow be acceptable for you? Would that be acceptable as a result? If Town walked away tomorrow night from Vicarage Road with 1, if it still is called the Vicarage Road, from a 1-1 draw, is that acceptable? Because I want the response. I want to see us, in an ideal world, George, win away from home, come from behind, get all of those things away from us, and move forward with some home games coming up, and then retackle it again. But we have to address this away form. It isn't going to be a case of address the away form and forget the home form. It can't be. But I don't want to look back in 10 years' time, George, the same way we kind of look back in Jim Magilton's time here in one of his seasons, where it was, if only he could have sorted out, I believe it was the home form at the time. I think away from home, we were excellent. At home, I don't think we were particularly good that one season. If only Jim could have sorted that out. I don't want to look back in 10 years' time, George, and say, what a great opportunity. If only we could have sorted that away form out. Oh, we need to change that. I can't stress that urgency from me enough.
Yeah, would a draw be enough? I think I don't think it would be a disaster, a draw tomorrow. That's not the response that I want, and I don't think it's the response that we should be looking for. I would be disappointed. I would be disappointed if we go looking for a draw.
Would a draw keep the top two alive for you? I mean, for many fans, it's over already, but it ain't over until mathematically it tells me it's over. But would a draw for you help or hinder that top two push?
Yeah, I threw my toys out of the pram after Saturday as well, and gave it the bigot about the top two being over. But clearly, it's not. Like everybody is capable of having poor runs of form this season. I think that's we're seeing that. Coventry seem to have come out of theirs for the time being, at least. But we are in a fortunate position that the results went okay for us at the weekend, and there's nothing to say that won't happen again tomorrow. I don't think top two is over if we draw or lose tomorrow necessarily, but we're getting dangerously close to the point where we will need to go on some kind of run of form at home and away from home. Do I currently think that's possible? Not.
No, you don't, do you? Be honest, you don't. You don't.
No, but that's because I've not been given any indication that it is. No. Because we haven't really. We've been getting results in a, and maybe that's why it's difficult to kind of like get that sort of persistent feeling of positivity about our season, is despite the fact that, because it feels like I come on here every time and I'm like, I don't know why, because we're second or we're third or we're fourth, but it doesn't really feel like it's been a great season, and I think that's because it's just been so up and down. We haven't had that kind of run of 4 games, 5 games where we just look unbeatable, and I think if we had that, and if we had that now, similar to we did, let's be fair, 2 years ago after Valentine's Day, we went on a 9-game winning run or whatever it was, and that, not that we were having a terrible time before that, we looked, suddenly it was like, oh, this is easy, and who's to say that's not going to happen again? But it wouldn't be the end of the world tomorrow. But it's not, a draw is not the response I want to see after Saturday.
No, definitely not. And Dino, thanks very much for clarifying that for me. So the season you're talking about with Magilton, excellent at home, poor away. I know it's one of those two things that really sort of was a storyline of that season. Boy, about Town was so sad when Magilton left. Look when the placement did. Yeah, but the ownership is different now. You've got to trust the ownership to be completely different. But I just think, to your point there, George, McKenna set the bar here. So when it's here, you know it's here, right? And you can be a victim of your own success. And I think that's a little bit of what he's been, because he did set the bar here. And we've yet to really hit that bar. Can we hit that bar? Of course we can. The season has still got a lot of way to go. But every Town fan knows where, and they always talk about the football club. Standards, culture, set the standard, meet the standard. Never accept anything below that standard. But as fans, you have to do the same. And he did set it here. So when you know it's here, you know it needs to come up. And I think that's ultimately what we're saying. And for me, a reaction very much look, you can go one or two ways, right? Dominant performance, 3-0 win, excellent. Or it can be a win on the road. You come from behind, you play the tough minutes when they're tough, but you come through it collectively. You rise to the occasion. There's no talk about they wanted it more or anything else that you may have been hearing over the last couple of days or after Sheffield United away. That's the response as well. There can be two type of responses, but again, a draw. I agree. Not for me. Not for me. Yeah, it's a point. Results may also help, etc., etc. Mathematically, not impossible, but I have to think that's not the response you want to go back into your home games with, because you've got to eventually start arresting the bad form. So we're going to come into some players in a moment, gut meter test, but don't forget we are partnered with Stowmarket Osteopaths, osteopath and physiotherapy services. I was there today myself. Freddie's the governor there. Give him a call on 01449 613 633, 01449 613 633. Right, no hiding, George. Confidence levels out of 10. How confident are you Ipswich can win tomorrow? 1 being not confident, 10 being confident, and why?
The question there was, how confident am I that we can win? Is it can win or will win? They're two very different things. I'm entirely confident.
How confident are you Ipswich will win this? How confident are you Ipswich will win this? 1 to 10. Because 7, let's just to say, CPS says, well, 79 CPS says 7 out of 10. Confident.
Yeah, do you know what? Let me be the first to practice what I preach. I'm going to say that I am 8 out of 10 confident that we're going to win tomorrow.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. That's pretty confident for you. I'm blowing me away a little bit. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be positive. Let's be positive. It might not, reflect our away form. It might not reflect how we played on Saturday, but I'm going to be positive.
And you snookered my next question, so I'm going to have to change it on the fly.
You're expecting me to be miserable.
Well, not quite miserable, but I am a 4 or a 5 out of 10. I am very much don't tell me how good you are. Show me how good you are right now. Show me, don't tell me. And because I've been reading all season long how good the team is. The bookies rate us X, Y, Z. Well, do you know what? Don't tell me no more. Show me, and you can show me tomorrow night at Vicarage Road. But you're an 8. Excellent. What would push? What one player for Town would push that to a 9? So which one player for Town is key in terms of turning that 8 to a 9 for you tomorrow away at Watford?
Dan Neil.
Why Dan Neil?
I think he's a great player. Rated him before he came. I think we've signed him for a reason. I think there's a position in our midfield that looks ready for him. So
yeah,
he's the player that I think, in the couple of cameos he had, maybe less so on Saturday, but he was thrown in at a pretty tricky time. Prior to that, was it against Derby when he came on?
Yes, yeah, looked good.
Free assist. Like he could thread the eye of a needle. Yeah, like what a player! Like, and again, like no disrespect to Taylor. I know Westy on the comms said that he thought he had a really great game on Saturday. I didn't think he looked great. He looked busy, but gave the ball away about 7 times in the first 3 minutes, which was not great, and didn't really slow down that much through the rest of the game. And I would rest him if I'm honest. So yeah, Daniel would make me more confident.
And what one position group, not player, would make you less confident? So from an 8 to a 7, which one position group absolutely has to play well tomorrow to keep that at an 8? Otherwise, if they don't play well, that drops to a 7 or a 6 in your confidence level.
Well, given what I've already said, and given the fact that we scored 3 goals away from home on Saturday, it's the defence.
So in which case, which leads me on to the next question. See, it's all got a rhyme and a reason.
Oh yeah,
no. I'm learning. Back 5. Christian Walton, obviously the goalkeeper from Saturday. Darnell Furlong is on 8 yellow cards, we believe, not 10, so he should be available. Lots of conversation about moving Kit Prey to the right-hand side, bringing Jacob Greaves in, who now all of a sudden is our best defender, it would seem. As they say, I spell out the side always makes you so much better than you were seeing before. But look, in all honesty, jokes aside, back 5. All right. What is it going to be for you?
Rocking O'Shea earlier in the season. Blimey.
We'll go player by player. Christian Walton, does he retain the place for you? Yes or no?
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah,
You're not sure, but you're going to say yes out of
I'm
loyalty,
not
right?
sure. I watched
You're loyal. Are you Kieran McKenna?
I disagree with Lee that he wasn't that you can't put any fault on him.
Oh, I can.
No, you can't be beaten twice in one game at your near post. You just can't. Yeah, I probably would stick with him. I feel for Palmer because I thought he was looking good when he got injured, and Walton came in and had a really good run of clean sheets. So difficult to drop him, but he's on the precipice for me. Yeah.
So that leads me to I'm going to trust that you're leaving your right back and your left back the same. So centre half wise, you've got 3 players, 2 positions. One is your captain. I still stand behind that captain, by the way. Me and you have had back and forth conversations since August on Dara O'Shea, and I will stand behind that man. And
private conversations.
He is my captain. He is my leader. He is my centre back. I like him as a player, and I believe in him as a leader. Against the grain, as much as that may be, but I do. Where are you on these 3 players and 2 positions? What are you doing about it?
I think if O'Shea wasn't our captain, then yeah, I'd be looking at probably giving him a rest. But the
armband shouldn't come into it though. In terms of
it does. No, it doesn't. It wouldn't for me. But and we've talked about this, and I'm terrified of him. So I say this with the utmost respect. Not necessarily my captain. So but it does come in. I think for McKenna it does come into it. So I don't think there's any way that O'Shea doesn't play. But given the amount he gives the ball away, in really unfortunate positions that lead to goals or very good opportunities for goals, I think he is. What I'd be saying to him right now is, if I was McKenna, because we know he's not going to drop him because he's the captain, is that I'm not going to drop you because you're the captain, or it makes it harder. But dude, come on, play the game.
Just like that case,
you're killing me.
You tell me what I should do here, Dara. But you know what you could do, which you never will, which again leads back to my weakness and how much if I was managing McKenna, I'd be saying about adaptability. You know what you could do, a centre half that is struggling, if you perceive him to be struggling, you could play a back 3, play him on the right hand side of a 3. He's got cover. He's got players around him. He's not necessarily in the firing line as much as the 2. He won't do it. But that's what I would perhaps look to do, George. If you feel like he is struggling and you can't drop him for whatever reason, because you've got players who can play wing backs. You've got Davis, good left-sided player who can play as a wing back. You've got Wes Burns. You've got Ben Johnson. You've got the options in which you could, on the road, be a little bit different, which leads me back to what I was saying earlier about the adaptability and changing. And sometimes you have to. You just have to.
But and this contradicts the whole he's not going to get dropped because of his captain thing. But I wouldn't change the tactics for one player. If one player is out of form, then you swap that player.
It also helps you're not great away from home though, in terms of swapping it around. It's not just you could just do it as a general. But yeah, no, I hear you. You're right. Yeah, you are right.
I wouldn't be swapping him just. I wouldn't be swapping the whole formation just as a reason to keep him in. Obviously O'Shea's a good player. This is no shade. He's obviously a good player, but he is having a bit of a tumultuous time when he plays out from the back. Every once in a while, a bit like Burgess, every once in a while, he will play a ball where you're like, oh, okay, great, yeah, amazing. But too often he gets the easy stuff at the end of that long build-up all wrong, and it puts us completely on the back foot immediately, and it frustrates me. But
you're not talking about Dara's 3 passes a game to the opposition, are you? You can put your money on him. He'll have at least 3 passes a game where you can guarantee he'll pass it into an opposition player without any town player around him. You'll go, what did you see there?
Exactly, and that's the thing I was talking about earlier, that it feels like we're getting wrong, which is there's a disconnect between Dara O'Shea and everyone else. Either people aren't making the runs, or they aren't coming to him when he's under pressure, or he is waiting too long and putting himself under pressure and not seeing the trigger when he's supposed to play the pass. It just feels like he gets to this point where he's like, oh, fudge, like, okay, I guess this is the ball. Like, it feels a bit panicky, and that's something that we haven't had from a centre-half when we've been playing that for a long time. It's different to playing that, I think last season and the season before, that ball out from that central ball out by the goalkeeper, whoever it was at the time, to Morsey, and he would play a kind of blind pass, assuming that someone was there, and it would just go straight to the opposition. Is very different to standing in front of an opposition player under no pressure with no one around you and passing them the ball.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I
can forgive the blind pass a bit, because that's a kind of frustrating thing when you go, oh my God, like, Christ, like, at least scan, like, you should know, or someone should be there or whatever. That's easier to forgive than like being 5 yards away from someone, looking them square in the eyes and just passing them the ball, which I struggle with.
Yep. Collins an 8. What about Towns? 8 out of 5. Trevor's a 5. David's a 5. Craig's an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. We've got 79 CPS. We're the best squad in the league. I'm always 7 or 8 out of 10, even with derby days. Noise said this group doesn't have the ability to give a reaction, especially if they go a goal behind. Nunez is a big player. People have often said in regards to one player that can perhaps move your confidence up. We've got lots of great comments. Love them. Keep them coming. Really keep them coming. Come to the score prediction in a minute.
Question? Generally, where does Nunez play with Mehmeti, now our best player?
Play him deeper. Play him deeper. Play him next to Matasiwa. I know you've said Dan Neil, but or alternatively, you know, when Wes isn't starting, or when Wes is sort of running his race on the right, you could move Mehmeti to the right-hand side, bring Nunez on. It gives you options. It certainly does give you flexibility of options, and they've struck gold with Mehmeti for 3.5 million. They've really struck gold with that, which also makes you more frustrated with how badly they've got wrong other positions and targets, etc. Because it shows when the dashboard can occasionally get it right. The dashboard can very much. Okay, but it's a great question. Where would you put him?
I don't know, because I wouldn't take Mehmeti out of the 10 at the moment, and Nunez.
You can't not play Nunez. He's leading your assists for a reason.
But he looked like, but only while he's been in the 10. Like, he didn't look great when he was playing deeper. Like,
play with 2 10s and no striker. You wouldn't know. Sometimes you wouldn't notice anyway. So
I mean, your words.
Prove me wrong. All right. Okay, here we go. So we'll go for a score prediction and first goal scorer, and then I've got some speak pipe voice messages to play. Go
on. Score prediction, did you say? Sorry. Yeah. Let's continue the 8 out of 10. I'm going to go 3-1 Town. 1-3.
3-1 Town. And who's going to score Town's first goal? Mehmeti?
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Do you know what? And we didn't get to this, but I'm going to say Azon, just because.
Are you playing him up front?
I absolutely would be playing him up front. What happened on Saturday, either when he was playing or when Hurst came on, that would suggest to me or anyone else that he shouldn't be starting up front?
He played well, I thought.
He did. He played like he did, and he does. Like, I like him, and as much as I don't think he's the best striker in the world, I think he's probably the best of what we have right now. In terms of form, and the one that looks most likely to score, and the one that looks most confident. And I love how he buzzes around. I thought he took his goal well, and it was a different kind of goal for him. And not that he scored loads, but I thought he did really well. And absolutely, I would be playing him again. I don't think for a second that he'll be playing again, but I absolutely would be playing him again.
Which is another fundamental issue for me. All this, handing out appearances like it's raffle tickets. Like, just can we? We've been through this one all through the season, and it ain't going to end, and we ain't going to really get past it until the summer. But you're right; he should be playing. I think after the performance he put in, he got the goal right. He looked lively. I liked what I mean. But it's a low bar. I will be honest. It's a low bar when you say look the best of what we've got so far, and that's all. That's all of them who have played up front this season. Someone needs to step forward, George. Someone really needs to step forward. And Dina says Chaplow kind of winning tomorrow would do the squad a world of good. I remember that. It was right in front of me. What a day that was. From a corner, Richard Chaplow with the celebration. That's what we need. You are absolutely right. 2-2 says Nigel as a neutral. Asmar, Mehmeti at 9, Nunez at 10. Harps, lose 2-0 if O'Shea starts. No, Harps, come on. Believe. Colin says 2-1 Town. David 2-1 Town. Lots of positive result. What about Town 2-0? 5-3 Town says Simon Harris. O'Shea hat-trick. That's what we need to end the show with. That is a positive comment. It's an incorrect comment, but it's a positive one all the same. O'Shea, I may stand behind him as the captain, as a player, George, but even I'm not going to say he's going to get a hat-trick. Even I wouldn't go that far. So, I mean...
I love it. Love it. What
are the odds?
Yeah.
Is that what Chambers did? Or did the old, is it Teddy Bishop? Where he puts fingers in the ears? You know, there's so many over the years. Let's be honest. All right, we're going to have some of our wonderful voice messages. 2 people left some more after yesterday's show. We love them. Do keep them coming in.
Hey, Gav, sending this through pre-Watford, post-Wrexham. Just listen to your Sunday pod. Got to say, I think you're a little harsh on Walton. I think he's partially to blame for the first, but the others, not his fault. I think O'Shea was absolutely horrible as a captain. You don't need to be a 8 or a 9 out of 10 every week, but you can't afford to be a 1 or a 2. And that's not the first time this year he's done that. McKenna needs to make a statement. O'Shea, sit the next one out. Get Greaves in. He was the best centre-half in the Championship 2 years ago. We signed him as a Premier League centre-half. Pairing with O'Shea doesn't work, but perhaps O'Shea is the weakest link there. Our recruitment is horrible, has been for a couple of years. We've now got 2 blokes in Caduced and Akpom on obligations to buy if we go up, and they can't get a game in our Championship side. So I don't know what's happening. I think the top 2 is stretched too far, and to be perfectly honest, I can't see us getting past a semi-final in the playoffs on current form. Nothing would make me happier than to be proven wrong, but I just don't think our team and our skipper has the intestinal fortitude to see this one out.
Okay, and there we go. I've missed the second one off. Big apologies to that person who's left the second one. We appreciate it all the same. I'll try and play it on the next show. I did feel, listening to that, George, that he obviously made that call before today's show, but he sort of told the future there, and it almost had to go at you and me at the same time. Me about O'Shea, you about Walton. Like I was feeling called out in the first part of that call.
I mean, he's wrong about Walton, but
he's wrong about O'Shea. But I just felt like he was getting at us both. Like I just thought, how's he known that?
I thought the impact of that was all the more because of the long tone at the end when he hung up, which is that was it's hard to there was obviously a lot of passion there, and it's hard to argue with too much of it, really. I think whether the on the recruitment side, you and I have talked about that. I think January was an interesting month, and obviously Mehmeti looks a quality signing. But there are questions around. I think Akpom has shown enough that he is worth a shot in the 9. If Azon's not going to play tomorrow, I would go so far as to say I think
doesn't get the chance.
And that's my point. And why did we bring Dan Neil in if he's going to be second choice? To the current first choice. It doesn't make loads of sense to me, and it's not.
Nothing we've done makes sense.
I'm not a football coach, though, right? But it is tricky to understand why we're signing some of these players if they're not going to get more of a shot than the players that they've been that play in the position ahead of them. And I understand players are ahead of them when they come in and they're told you've got to earn your right to play in that team. But if they're not in form, then why aren't they playing?
Great question. Almost as good as all the comments we've received live Love you all so much for all your comments. Really enjoyed reading them. I tried to show as many as I could tonight, but also trying to engage. Obviously, it's one less person on the screen. So one less person to engage in that debate with George. So I've tried to do both. I hope I've done you all at home proud. We're doing a watch along tomorrow. Do come and join us. Watch along the game with us. I will be behind. I generally am, always am. I live in Stowmarket. The internet has yet to reach these parts. But do come and join us, and also the match reaction. But don't forget, you don't get promoted by being perfect. You get promoted by responding. 14th in the away table isn't good enough, and Watford away is a real test. If Town is serious about automatic promotion, this is where the away form has to turn. Expectation is simple. Show control, show resilience, show growth. You've reached the end. Thanks for watching. Check out more videos, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.